Hi everyone, welcome back to Move with Sherry. I have a fun abdominal focused workout for you all. Grab a squishy ball if you have one, the small Pilates ball. If you don't, it doesn't matter, you will still be able to feel this workout. Alright, so let's start with our standing roll downs. Take a big breath in, reach those arms above, tuck your chin to chest and roll on down. Really pressing your feet into the floor. Now this is not a slow paced workout. We are going to move through things quite quickly. We're getting into our bend and stretch here. If you can't reach your toes, you can just press your hands onto your shins or onto the knees. Relax the back of the head and then roll back up. One more breath in and out. I'm just going to turn to face you. We are going into our side reach. Really think up and over, pressing your feet down into the floor. You want to open up the lateral sides of the body here. Deep breath in and out. And let's go for a little twist. I bend my knees slightly here. I just feel like I get more freedom and range of movement in the upper torso. Just twisting from the waist. Twist, twist. And once you've done enough of those, let's go into our hinge squat. So hinging from the hips, sending the sit bones back. The sit bones are those bony parts down at the base of your glute. You want to feel them opening as you press back and underneath as you press up. Staying down for just a little pulse here, lifting up and down from those sit bones. And let's go for a little squeeze, release into that ball. A little wake up into those adductors. Just checking your posture here. Make sure that lower back is lengthened, abdominal wall to spine. Getting into those heel raises. Now, if you've got funky ankles, this might not be good for you. So again, do what feels right for you. And we are going to lift up into our calf raise. So lift up all the way and press back into your hinge squat. I like to use my arms here so that full body engagement. As we work on certain areas, don't forget that the full body is also engaged and connected. Little calf raise up and down here. Just go for a couple more. Feeling that center of your heel lift you up and lower. Now we're going to add on some arms here, so stay in that hinge and sweep one arm back and the other. Again, I'm just turning in another direction so you can see profile view. So sweeping one arm back, again hugging in that ribcage and belly to lengthen the spine. Tricep press back here, feel the back of those arms open up and lengthen that collarbone. Take a couple of breaths. And then bring your hands in, going in back into that heel raise. Option to go into that if that's for you, or you can keep the heels lifted and pulse up and down, or your heels can be flat on the floor. We're only here for 3, hold 2, and lift up on 1. Whew, nice little quick warm up. Hope you're feeling energized and ready to go. Just shake it all out, do any roll outs through the neck and shoulders, and then come on down onto your mat. Bring that ball with you. Again, if you don't have a ball, please do not fret. You can still do this on your mat and still feel the effects of the workout. So going into our pelvic tilt and imprint, if you've done my workouts before, you will know straight away what we're doing here. We're exhaling to roll the hips back. Try and imprint your lower back into that ball. And then inhale, roll the hips forward so that you feel like you're balancing on top of the ball. It takes a while to get used to this. And once you've had a couple of those done, let's move into our pelvic curl. So pressing your feet into your mat, you start to roll back and lift the hips off the ball, then roll back into neutral position. Again, this is a progressive and more intermediate level class, so if you're unsure of what I mean and what we're doing, head back to one of my beginner friendly classes and come back whenever you're ready. Alright, getting into our hip dips, pressing your feet into the floor. Let's lift the hips off the ball, then press back down. You want to feel the back of the thighs, the glutes here. Again, abdominal wall is engaged. And let's come on down. I'm just adjusting the ball as it likes to wriggle around a little bit. Make sure you're balancing your sacrum, the lower part of your spine, on that ball. Going into our single leg lifts. Now the challenge here is pelvis stability and also core stability. So making sure those hips are in neutral as much as possible. Just hinging from the hip to lift that thigh. Yeah, see, I'm checking my hips to see where they are. You want to make sure you're also not tensing up in the chest and shoulder or neck or face here. So if you've gone for that extra challenge to lift your hands up to the ceiling, think about pressing the back of the rib cage and the shoulders down towards the floor. Let's go for our dead bug series. Opposite arm to leg, extend and reach in opposite direction. Draw it back in from the abdominals. Inhale to open, exhale, draw it back in. I've just on the same leg here for another 2. And then switch it over to the other side. Extend and draw back in. Here for only another 4. As you lengthen away, try not to lift up the shoulder blades or arch in that lower back. Really keep that stability and engagement in the front of your core. And then bring your hands back down. Now we're going to bring both legs to tabletop. Again, finding balance on that ball. And then go for your toe taps. If you are not on the ball here, you can really press your lower back and back of your hips down onto the floor and still really feel those abdominals working. All right, extra challenge is bringing your hands up to the ceiling, still keeping that engagement and that balance on the ball as you tap one leg and lift up. You can go for your single leg extension here as well. At any time, if you need to, you can bring your hands back down onto the floor, palms facing down. Don't forget to use the breath back to our dead bug, extending one arm and leg away from each other. Just a couple more here to feel it once more. One more on each side. And then lower back down. Take that ball out from your hips and settle your hips down onto the ground. You will feel really nice and grounded after being on that ball. We're now going to lift and extend the top part of the torso, chest lift, reaching your arms long, and then reach your hands behind. Bring and sweep those arms forward before you lift your head and sternum. Reaching your arms in line with the chest, then lift. We're thinking about sliding that rib cage down towards the hips, compressing the abdominal wall, and a little lift and lower here just to really feel more into those abdominals for what's coming next. You guys are going to love it. Lots of fun, creative things today. And let's go into our chest lift with a single leg lift. Again, we want to feel those abdominals working here as you lift the leg and lengthening the top of the spine. Now we're getting into our obliques. So hula is when you lift and reach up and over to the other side, adding a single leg lift. Again, challenge here is to keep both hips steady and placed onto your mat. Think about lifting up and over rather than just twist. If you feel like you need more balance, you can bring your feet back down to the floor. Just feel into this. Adding in that single leg extension for extra challenge. Again, trying to keep both hips, back of both of the hips on that floor, not lifting up from one side. This is so you can really find that rotation through the waist and those obliques working for you. Let's hold and extend here on one side. Option to bring your ball above the shin instead of the oblique reach. Here for 2. Deep breath in and 1. Exhale up. Let's go to the other side. You can see which side is more sticky for me if you look really closely. It's my right side. So again, option to just hold center or keep reaching over to the other side. We're here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. Whew. Take a big breather. Let's move on to the next. Bring your ball in between knees and hug your knees towards your nose, curling like a ball. Extend away in that double leg extension. Pulling in, extending out. Option to keep your head down on the mat the entire time here if you need, especially if you start to feel it in your lower back. We really want to stay away from pressing into the lower back. Oh yes, our favorite. Let's go into hundreds. Lift up and hold and press those arms down. Really engage in those arms. Lift up and press. Breathe in for 5 counts. Exhale out for 5. In for 5. Exhale out for 5. We're not here for too long. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale out, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Oh my goodness, that one really got me. I hope it did for you too. All right, take a big breath and let's move on. We're going to level up a little bit more. This is when we're really going to start to feel the burn. Squeeze that ball in between your elbows. Go for your chest lift. Add in a toe tap. So as you reach your head down, tap one toe, bring it back. So really curling in like a ball. Start to add your leg wave on one side. Again, you want to keep the pelvis, the hips stable here. You'll feel it more into those abdominals. The reason being is so we're not lifting, flexing from our hip flexors. We're really working through the abdominals and dissociation from the hip. Ooh. Let's go for our next challenge, double leg extension with a curl. So we're squeezing the ball in between your elbows, then pass it to your knees and squeeze. So we're getting that inner thigh work as well. Ooh, then go for 4 scissor kicks. Bring it in, extend away. Repeat that again. Ball towards your elbows, 4 scissor kicks. Keep holding that chest lift if you can. Bring it in. You might want to practice this a few times. You can always pause and try again. Now we're holding that lift and just scissor kick it out. You've got this. Breathe. And then let it go. Another moment just to stretch out. Yes, that one is tough. Again, you can always pause, rewind, try it again. Just to loosen up the hips a little bit more, let's go into our leg circles. So draw the leg over the midline and down. We're only here for 2 more. And then we go in the opposite direction. Make sure you're planting the back of those shoulders and those hands down on the floor to support your spine. And then switch to the other side. Only 4 in one direction. Again, you will notice which side is more sticky. It's my right side. And then in the other direction here. Feeling that thigh bone moving through your hip socket. Go within your range. No pressure to go super crazy here, ever, actually. Alrighty, our last little round here, we're going into our rollovers. So squeeze that ball in between your knees, again, just to keep the legs engaged and those inner thighs. And that was a good demonstration to start with. Now, if you haven't joined me yet, please do. Press your hands into the mat, roll up. You want the ball over your nose, over your forehead, then flex those toes as you roll down through your spine. Think spinal articulation, double leg extension, reach toes up to ceiling, lift the hips up to the ceiling, those sit bones up to the ceiling, flex the feet, roll down with control using that abdominal strength you just gained from all that work previously. Don't forget to use a breath. If this strains your back or your neck at all, please just refrain from doing this and go into your bridges instead, finding that spinal articulation. It's always a progress, and some days are a little bit more challenging than the other. So just listen to your body and do what feels good for you today. Enjoy the slowing down, lengthening out that spine. Alrighty, grab that ball into your hands, let those legs go out long. We're going into our roll up now. So rolling up into your spine stretch, reach the ball over the toes, lift up back on your sit bones. Really roll from the back of those hips before you roll down. Lift, 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 lift. I know this is challenging for some people, so you can use the ball behind your back, behind your shoulders or your lower back to help you lift on up. Exhale up. And then let's bring the ball behind the shoulder blades, about the mid of your thoracic. This is to get into our extension, so take a moment to drop your head back, open up those elbows, then curl back into your flexion. Getting into our extension is really important. We really live with our arms and shoulders rolling forward, so we really want to open up and lengthen the collarbone, open up the chest. Again, option to add in your single leg lift. This is nice and gentle after the previous work. You can go into a little oblique lift. Really open up, then exhale and lift. And then reaching those legs into tabletop. Going into your boat or teaser. Lift up off the ball and press. Option to stay here or extend those legs long. We're only holding here. If you need to come back down on the ball, please do so, but just breathe in and out and let it go. Ooh, well done, guys. All right, we're going to move on into more quadrupeds, so full body integration. Flex those toes behind you and let's straight away go into your tricep press. Making sure you're in that neutral spine, so sending the sit bones back, lengthening the back of your neck, feeling the rib cage drawn in towards your midline. And let's go for your knee hovers. Only think about lifting 5 centimeters off the floor, then lower with control. Protect those knees. You can add a little squeeze into the ball, just like we did in our standing work in our warm-up. Squeeze, release, and lower. Now hold that here, hover, and squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. And let's go both. Tricep press, knee hover, and squeeze. It's really combining 3 movements, not 2, but you got me, guys. Tricep press, lift, squeeze, release. And let's go for a little twist. Again, this might not be suitable for you or your body, so just go within your range and what feels good for you. You want to feel the twist from the waist. We're working to those obliques, the lateral side of the body here, because what's coming next is some side support, some plank work. Yes, I know, not everyone's favorite. We have options to work with. So you can keep the legs bent and squeeze that ball as you lift. Or you can grab that ball and press to the floor and lift. So I'm really pushing out from the feet. Third final option is your wave. So bend and lift up out of those legs. You want to feel everything in the side of the body working here, the lateral side. Lift and hold. Let's transition to the other side. Go into your front plank, forward plank, and then bring the ball in between your knees. Just a little hip up and down. Again, option to bring your hand onto the floor, and then option to grab that ball. And then you have option to tap the ball to the floor or go into your wave. Really feeling, again, this is full body. Deep breaths in and out. And then let's go back to our front support work. Let's go back into your knee hover and then pike. It's going to feel really good after those side planks. Good, sending the hips up to the ceiling, feel the lengthening of the back of the legs. Feel what's happening in your shoulders, in your spine here as well. And let's hold that front support. Guys, we are almost done. Let's just hold it here. Feel everything working. Maybe go for a little rock forward and back. And then take a big breath and let it go. Whew. Well done, guys. Again, that was short and spicy and hot. I'm sweating. I hope you enjoyed that. Well done. And let me know in the comments if you like this. Thanks, guys.